Digital native. My achievements aren't popping up, but there might have been a thing on screen anyway. For example, let's say you asked a kid in middle school, do you know what Schrodinger's cat is? I'm fucking done. We've already started with bullshit theoretical physics. I thought I could have left the science description bullshit back in Steins Gate, but nope. Here we are again. I've also covered this one in Virtue's Last Rewards, so I'm a bit of an expert on Schrodinger. Most would say yes, so I've heard of it. Well, let's start by eliminating the DQNs who say they've never heard of it. Next you ask, well, what is it? Next we need to eliminate those poor fuels who say something about a cat in a box, right? Or, there's this cat, but you don't know if it's alive or dead, right? Or maybe they say, there's a cat in a box and next to it there's a device that may or may not give it off poisonous gas. You don't know if the cat's alive or dead until you open the box. Everybody knows that. We can eliminate these show-offs as well. Anybody from these groups is a wrong-sider. The right answer would be to describe the experiment, and then say, it was a thought experiment proposed by Schrödinger to criticize the quantum mechanical theory that state collapse only occurs after human observation. But barely anyone can do that. And I'd imagine that I'm the only guy who's still in high school who knows that Schrödinger got the idea after exchanging letters with Einstein. I hate wrong-siders. I'd taken a break from investigating the two incidents that occurred recently in Shibuya, and was paging through some at-channel blog aggregators for a change of pace. As always, articles about bad idols and corporations with terrible work environments were getting a ton of hits. God, that channel really is just Reddit, isn't it? It was hard to believe that the crash of 15, a huge news story that had happened just this month, was already off the front pages. I'm assuming the economy died in Japan in like 2015 or something. Hold on. No, it's not that one. Nope. Piss. That's the wrong button to press. Which of these buttons does the controls? Well, I've found some of them. Oh, wait. There we go. Who the fuck thought it was a good idea to bind that to 1? Tips list. Okay, fictional. Thank you for clarifying. Okay. In September 15, the largest solar storm in recorded history struck Earth, causing electronic failures worldwide. The damage to infrastructure and the panic that resulted in some areas, particularly North America, became known as the Crash of 15. A large hole opened in the Earth's electromagnetic shield, leaving Earth defenseless against the solar flare. Since absolutely no precautions were taken beforehand, the powerful electronic current damaged electronics and high-voltage transformers, shutting down the electrical grid. The reconstruction project in Shibuya had only just finished its redesign of the city's infrastructure. While Japan suffered relatively little damage, Shibuya in particular suffered almost none. Wait a minute. The Enlightened generation? A word first used on the internet in the 2010s. The exact boundaries of the generation are unspecified, but it often is used to refer to people born in the 1990s. Members of this generation are said to not want things that they don't need and to act logically, rather than putting forth unneeded effort. It's said that one cause of this is that the internet was widely available by the time they were old enough to use it, which exposed them to information about society and reality at an earlier point and a deeper level than generations before them. They call them the Enlightened generation? We have a much more harsh term to describe those people. Oh shit, is that why they called them Zoomers? Because they're Generation Z? The more you know. Anyway, yeah, we call them Zoomers. And or Millennials, depending on which half of the 1990s you were born. Now that I've got that sorted, I skipped some shit. Okay, yeah. It was hard to believe that the crash of 15, a huge news story that had just happened this month, was already off the front pages. Did the people reading and commenting on these sites realize that everything they read about under corporations and idols was carefully controlled? Did they know that most of the big aggregator sites are corporations too? Do they realize that their comments were all manipulated to go one direction or another? Probably not. Kids our age were living in a world where all the information you could ever want was right at your fingertips. To those of us in the enlightened generation, ignorance was the worst sin. The ignorant were self-righteous, easily manipulated, and eager to push their paper-thin worldview onto others. Man, kids woke, and I say that with the biggest eye roll that you've ever fucking seen. They were nothing but a nuisance. The worst of the lot were the so-called otaku. I couldn't stand otaku. They were wrong-siders. Take the picture on the cover of this magazine. It was from Bloodtoon. Any otaku who just watched it for the cute characters was a loser. There was no point in watching the show if you were just going to ignore its deeper themes. For a moment, I thought you were about to be woke, and then I realized you're not against otaku, you're against the less hardcore otaku. I couldn't stand people who still held the old-fashioned idea that only otaku watched anime. But people who ignored a show's themes and just watched it for the cuteness were even worse. They were ignoring the implicit social criticism hidden within.
Nani?
What? I stared at the magazine in amazement. Specifically, I stared at the box that listed the next episode previews. The text said that Eren was missing.
Bakaka!
Idiots! Damn it. I let my guard down because I knew this episode was written by the guy who wrote the original manga. The original author doesn't know anything about his own work. I already don't like this kid. Like Okabe had some likable traits, I am already not on the same page as this kid. How could you remove Eren from the story halfway through? Not keeping her around meant bringing all the internal drama that had been built up so far to a halt. God damn it. So much for my change of pace. I knew I had to work on the case, but I put it away because I couldn't find any link between the two crimes. What's your name? Takaru? Yeah, I already don't like you. I thought for a moment, then took my magazine from its secret stash. It was an issue of an older magazine called Cool Cat Press. People call it a dating guide for normals, written by someone who'd never dated a girl in his life. But you'd be surprised. Magic words to make any girl fall in love with you. Stupid. I knew it was stupid. But when I ran an internet search and the number one phrase, nothing came back. And that was the thing. The fact that it didn't show up on the internet meant, to me, that it was worth something. I know this is extraordinarily selfish of me. But may I fall in love with you? With who? Sorry, can I hear that noise one more time? Where is it? Oh, it's not on my backlog yet. What are you doing? I turned to yell at the voice. Huh? Oh, Noe! Why did you get here? I hid my favorite magazine behind my back and tried to calm my racing heart. Oh shit, characters blink! We've come a long way from Steins Gate where they just used to stare at me. Even if we've known each other since we were kids, don't just come in like that. Dude, why do you live in a caravan?
I did knock. So what's the magazine? Anything interesting?
It's nothing. I couldn't let her find out. This was bad. What's going on? Why are you wearing your school uniform? Didn't you go home? I almost pronounced that Sekiro, and I'm like, no, that's a FromSoft game. Serika frowned.
You're the one who told me to go investigate the crime scenes for our club today.
Huh. That's right.
Here you go. All pictures from the crime scenes.
Serika took out a USB memory stick from her purse. Oh. Thanks. Could you transfer it to my computer for me while you're at it? Serika looked a little confused.
That's rare. You never let anyone touch your computer.
She's slowly slipping into the Suzuha voice already. Not really. You're allowed. She didn't seem to think much of it since she'd started to copy the data off. Okay, now's my chance. The RV was cramped, but there was a lot of space for storage. I pretended to make tea as I tried to find room on the top shelf. Okay, that's just about enough room for one more magazine. And then I heard a shoo sound, like a small fart from behind me. I glanced back and saw that Serika was using the mouse with one hand and fiddling with her fucking hell, I'm having a stroke. Fiddling with her Geroro strap with the other. It's that fucking frog from Steins Gate. We're back, and this is where it's probably popular. Because I think Chaos said Noah came first. This was my chance. The Geroro strap was a soft vinyl cell phone strap I'd won in a candy contest when I was a kid. When you pushed its belly, it was supposed to go Gero. Turned out to be an incredibly rare prize that could fetch 100,000 yen at auction. But since I was a kid who didn't know any better, I gave it to Serika as a present. Why did these people end up with all the fucking rare toys? And why is this gonna be my fucking demise at the end of this game, like the fucking shiny thing? The shiny Oopa from Steins Gate. This is gonna cause World War IV. Serika seemed to really like it, and ever since she'd carried it with her. Which, well, that was fine, but it was old and faded. And when you pressed its belly, air leaked out of the side and it made a weird noise. It used to go Gero, I think, but now it just made a strange whooshing sound. Ever since she was a kid, she had a habit of fiddling with it, especially when she was nervous or focused on something. In other words, she was focused on the computer. Now is my chance to hide it! I jammed the magazine onto the top shelf and moved something so she couldn't see it.
Mountain view でいいか?
Want the mountain view?
Don't waste it. I'm leaving in a second anyway. Okay, hold on.
There were quite a few files on the screen.
結構撮ったな.
You took a lot of pictures.
成果は?
Any luck?
I didn't see anything new. What about you, Taku? Find anything that connects the two cases?
いや.
No. I shook my head, frustrated.
そっか。
Oh, I see.
まあ、気
Well,
長
let's
に
not get frustrated
じゃ
yet.
あ明日、部
I'll
室
see
で
you in the club room tomorrow.
Just as she was about to leave, I got an idea.
あ、小野江。
Oh, no way. I needed to double check my information. She was, in theory, a girl. Can I just ask, like, why does she look like she got a little nosebleed? It looks like, I know she's got like the small nose, but I don't know what this like couple stray pixels are, and it looks like she's bleeding from the nose. Which means she is, in theory, forever aroused, and I hate that fact.
あのさ、例えばなんだけど。
I'm just asking, but...
うん。
Huh?
ああ、なんていうか、
Well...
お前が告白されたとしてさ。
Let's say someone asked you out.
うん
What?
いや、だから例えば、
Just hypothetically, okay?
誠に勝手なのです。
What would you think if they
好きになっ
said,
てもいいですか？
I know this is extraordinarily selfish of me, but may I fall in love with you?
さっき言ってたやつ
Is that what you were just saying? それはいいから。
Never mind that.
でも
What do you think? Serica thought for a second.
年下なのその人。
Is this person younger than me?
What the shit is this?
え？
Huh?
丁寧語だから。
Since they're being so polite.
That's true, come to think of it. Can I, like, do things? Oh, I can. Okay. We can make choices. Shit. Do I positively reaffirm her? Go along with the standard line of questioning? Or do negative? I'm already overwhelmed by choice, but let's just go with the standard line of questioning. Why was it so polite anyway?
年下なのかな。
Maybe they are?
いや、そうじゃなくて、
I mean, never mind that.
どう？
What do you think? Can I still, like, choose one of these? Let's do positive.
どうって丁寧だなって思うけど
Well, I think it's really polite, but
告白されたことないからよくわかんない
nobody's ever asked me out, so I don't know. 他には何か思わないか。こう、
Anything
素敵
else?
だなと
Like,
思ったりしないか。
oh, how romantic.
ん
Eh?
別に
Not
相手に
really.
よるんじゃない
That would depend on the person, right?
Ugh. What's going on here, cool cat? It would depend on the person asking the question. Of course it would.
でも告白してくれたのがタクだったら
But if it were you, Taku,
I apparently did a thing and I didn't mean to. Yeah, I didn't mean to. I don't know if I'd have left it in the center or I'd have gotten the third option or whether these are actually like, you know. I mean, they'll obviously make a difference, but I don't know whether they do now or not. But we'll find out, won't we?
ちょっとだけ考えちゃうかもし
maybe
れない
I think about it.
Serica's whisper was so soft I could barely hear it.
Eh?
Huh?
今、なんて言った？
What did you just say?
Oh, nothing.
No, I didn't hear that wrong. Was Cool Cat right after all? No, wait. It's Serica we're talking about here. Is that possible? Usually when you've known someone since you were little, you're so close that you don't even realize when they're attracted to you.
お前、僕のこと。
Do you like me?
タクはどうなの
What about you, Taku?
あ
って、
What about...
だから例えばだけど受け止めてくれるのかって話。
We're too early to be horny! We can't be doing this now!
I mean, just hypothetically.
I'm punching my microphone.
Just hypothetically, do you like me?
She was trying to hide the fact that she was blushing, but she was staring straight at me and waited for an answer. Was she serious? From the looks of things, she was definitely serious. Really? Serica liked me? I suddenly started to see her not as a childhood friend, but as a member of the opposite sex. I'm waiting for the rug to be pulled out of me from like, you know, because good shit can't happen to main characters. Dating her might not be so bad. We both knew everything about each other. But what was I supposed to do at a time like this? Was there anything about this in the Cool Cat press? That's right. That was a hint in the January 4th, 1999 edition. From a column called Everything You Wanted to Know About Seducing Your Childhood Friend, but Were Afraid to Ask. It was... How would you like your childhood friend to say they loved you? Softly, in a love letter. -5 people. Or that might just be 5 people. In an embarrassing text message, 17 people. You can tell this was written for and by the millennials. Work up the courage and kiss me now, 128 people. Well, if I'm splitting this into 2 episodes, I know what the second one's called. Work up the courage and kiss me now. Onoe? No. Serica. We're too early for horny. We need to stop now. Huh? I got close to Serica and softly put my hands on her shoulders. Our faces were right next to one another. Serica was beet red, but she didn't look away from me. I've not even read that line yet and I'm already dying of cringe. I'm a kind man. I'll take good care of you. No, Taku. It's all too sudden, I mean... Serica's lips were quivering. I want... I'd be less embarrassed reading my darling's embrace, I think, right now. I want your lips. Okay. Serica closed her eyes. Oh, Serica Onoe, my beloved. Why did I not notice your beauty sooner when you were next to me all this time? I know this is extraordinarily selfish of me, but may I fall in love with you? No. I've already fallen in love with you. Taku. Is this meant to be cringe? Am I meant to be like wanting to die from the inside outwards and like physically turning inside out? I need more alcohol. Give me a moment. Right, rum in hand, I feel more capable of dealing with this shit.
Taku, kiss me. Steal my lips away.
She whispered in a quavering voice, and I couldn't control myself any longer.
500円ちょうだい。
Give me 500 yen.
Huh? Huh? She wanted 500 yen for a kiss? Damn! You a cheap hoe! Just 500 yen? Huh? No, wait, calm down. Get a hold of yourself. This is just a simulation. This isn't what would happen in real life. It couldn't. People could never be this cringe. Most people could never be this cringe. Sariko wasn't that type of girl. I took a deep breath to calm my heart.
500円って何の話
500 yen? What are you talking about?
これこれ、忘れてた。
Here, here. I forgot.
She showed me the paper bag she was holding.
さっきそこでゲンさんに会ったの。
I just ran into the gen.
いつものだって
He
言
gave me
って渡してくれって。
Said it was your usual.
500円でいいって。
I paid him 500 yen for it.
いつもの
My usual? Confused, I took the bag from her. Gen's usual changed every time I talked to him, so I couldn't count on it. What was it today? Is this my pawn? That drunk old bastard!
何？
I'm describing myself right now.
What's your usual?
なんでもない
Nothing. Here, 500 yen. I forced 500 yen into her hands. Ignoring her persistent questions, I led her to the door.
明日学校で
I'll see you at school tomorrow.
データはありがとう
Thanks for the pictures. They're a big help.
わかったよ。
Fine.
Reluctantly, she left my room. Damn it. Sure, this was what I always bought from Gen. But the information in the last one was no good. That was a cool cat anyway. A cold cat? Is it cold because it's dead? 100 ways to secretly show your sexy side.
じゃない
No. I needed to hide these too. But I had so many of them now, I was running out of room on the top shelf. When I tried to force it in, a mountain of old papers came falling out. Damn it. No room, huh? Hmm? What's this? It was an old scrapbook about the murders that had occurred 6 years ago in Shibuya. I'd bought it from Gen too, come to think of it. I'd already scanned it, but had forgotten to throw out the original. How could I, of all people, be so lax with information? I just have to bundle it up with the rest of my collection. Huh? My eyes lingered for a second on the page. Come to think of it... I quickly ran over to my PC. I opened the files and the case that I'd been looking for.
マジか
Seriously? My words were a whisper. I looked back at the scrapbook, then compared it to the data on my PC. There was no doubt. I kept looking at it, and it kept saying the same thing. Let me guess, same locations or something stupid? But this... If my hypothesis was right...
きっと警察も気がついてないさ
I'm sure even the police haven't noticed. Strange sumo stickers increasing in Shibuya. What the fuck is that background? Name. Finance Milk Girl Reproduction. What the fuck? I don't know. Lately, stickers with the face of a sumo wrestler on them have been appearing around Shibuya. You started seeing them on signs and guardrails all over Shibuya 5 or 6 years ago. There are a lot of other stickers put up by graffiti artists, but Shibuya in particular has a huge number of these sumo stickers. Some have speculated they're a message from a terrorist group, or perhaps a cult. But as of now, that's nothing more than a hypothesis. When asked about the stickers, a 41-year-old man who worked at a Jinan, I don't know, Shibuya hair salon says they're creepy. I wish whoever it was would stop destroying the Shibuya landscape. Some residents will take them down, only to see them reappear later. Shibuya City Hall says, quote, "We are continuing our community outreach efforts to help stop these stickers from being put up. But also, there are no plans to use city funds to remove the stickers." Yep, sounds like a government. Police have said that placing these stickers onto public property is a misdemeanor. But that it's extremely difficult to prosecute without catching someone in the act of doing so. They have no current plans for dealing with the stickers either. The citizens of Shibuya are going to be stuck with these stickers for a while, it seems. And there's a link. After I first saw one 2 years ago, I've just been seeing them everywhere. Feels like there are even more now lately. Saw one another day. And then just people posting pictures. Also, can we just take a moment to appreciate Internet Explorer and what looks like a really old version of Windows? I mean, I know it's not super old, but you know what I mean. And all the fucking apps that are like different in the background. Got After Action, Photo Store Element, Rhine obviously, because they had that back in Steins;Gate. iTunes, Internet Escape. I don't know what Hachi Base is. Don't know if that's like a Japanese thing or whatever. There was one under the escalator of Hikari. Yeah. How the hell did one get down there? Took this a few years back. Wonder if it's still up there. Saw that one too. It's crazy. I always feel sick when I see that face. I once threw up when I saw one of those stickers. Shit sucks. Whoever put them up needs to FOAD. Oh, fuck off and die. I hope you scribble on top of one of the sumo wrestler curses you. Anyone else notice that it's almost impossible to get the damn things off? Saw my first one today. Stop upping these things, Anon. There's a shit ton of them in your image search. I actually saw one of these stickers talking once. It was yelling Dosukoi. Dosukoi! Time for your meds, Grandpa. Somebody make a Delusion. I don't know what that means. Delusion map that lists all their locations. You'll be at it for years. So if you go to Shibuya, you get stare raped by sumo wrestlers, right? I don't understand the sluts that go to Shibuya to enjoy that. I'll say one thing. They always somehow manage to accurately, like, reproduce freaking message boards. They should put up a bunch of cute anime girl stickers instead. Like Hanona or Seiratan. And all the otaku dorks who moved from Akihabara to Shibuya. I vote for Hangetsu Kamiyama. I feel pressure coming from Ryogoku. This is my prophecy unto you. Someday we'll see a sumo judge sticker. True dat. I recognize any of these, like, @channel handles? No, they're all anonymous. @reproduction prohibited. Which I know is not what it sounds like, probably. But it just makes me think that they're actually taking steps to ban otaku from reproducing. At this point, only a few people were talking about it. Talking about the sumo wrestler stickers. Who could have known that these eerie stickers would mark the beginning of a world-changing event?
And
so this is a magazine article about the incident that occurred on the 7th. The 7th? The suicide that took place right at the Nikoiniya stream, right? I read the article.
自殺と決まったわけじゃないけどな。
We don't know for sure that it was a
ネッ
suicide,
トでは
though.
こっちみんなって言
People
い
on the
方が
net are
主流
calling
になっ
it
て
the
きてる。
Don't Look at Me case.
で、
And
これ
here's
が
the
そ
video
の
of the
生放送の映
broadcast.
像。
Good to know you've still just got that downloaded somewhere.
それも見た。つうか一
saw
緒
that
に見
too.
ただろ
Wait, we saw it together.
で、これがその現場の建物。こ
And here's the building it took place
の絵
in.
が昨日、さらに
I
追
know
加
it
して
took
き
some
た。
more photos for me yesterday.
それも知ってるって。
I know that too.
で、これがその部屋の中。
And this is the inside of his room.
嘘
Huh?
お前撮ったの
No way! You took
どう
this?
やって
When? Wait, how? Until then, Ito had been disinterestedly pointing his camera at the colorful decorations in the hallway, but that got his attention. Of course it did. No one else had seen these pictures yet.
先週末な。
Last
現
weekend,
場向かいのカラオケボッ
you
ク
can
ス
see the
の
room
5階
from
の
the
部屋
fifth
か
floor
ら
of
見
the
える。
karaoke place on the other side of the street.
マジで
Seriously?
と、 ここ。ここ。
Here,
こ
here.
の5階から。
This is the fifth floor. Huh. Could always count on him to be interested when it came to new information.
で、何
So,
お前一人で入ったの
what?
か
You went in by yourself?
は
Huh?
いやいや、カラオケ
I mean, you went to the karaoke
人から
place by yourself. For karaoke alone?
仕方ないだろ。
I didn't have a
別に
choice,
恥ず
did
かしい
I?
ことじゃない。
And it's
そ
not
れに歌ったわけじゃ
embarrassing.
ないから。
And I
正
didn't
確な人からとは
sing,
言
so
わ
it
ない
wasn't really karaoke. I like Ito more than I like Takaru, or whatever his name is. To be honest, I was a little embarrassed. The guy at the counter, who was probably just a part-timer, had stared at me suspiciously. Maybe I attracted his attention by coming in during the middle of the day in my uniform. And since I'd never been there before, he made me fill out membership paperwork. I didn't know how to do it, so it took a long time. And actually, I'd never been to a karaoke place before in my life.
よし、ここは OK。
Alright, I got these. Let's move on to the next one.
めんどくさいな。
This is such a pain. We went over to the gym from the second floor hallway. It was filled with students laughing over who knows what. The whole school was getting ready for the culture festival next week. This year's festival was supposed to be a big one. Hekiho? Hekio Academy was the first private high school built as part of the restoration efforts, and so it was attracting a lot of attention. Dude, you go to private school? Fucking hell, what? No wonder you live in a caravan. Everything went on your fucking tuition. One reason why it was so excited for all the school fair was the school's lax rules, with lots of clubs and activities. But the biggest reason was the Shibuya Peace and Restoration Festival 2 months from now. 2 months from now, on November 9th, would mark the 6 years since the Shibuya earthquake. The 5-year anniversary fair last year had affected the whole town. And since the school was in Shibuya too, it would include us. We were just a simple high school, but now our culture festival was being treated as a prelude to the big one. And supposedly there would be TV cameras filming the day of the event.
うわ、あのパチモンの着ぐ
Wow,
るみ大丈
are
夫
those
かよ
costumes copyrighted?
つかなんで
Can
今
we get away with that? And wait, why are they wearing them now? Ito? I'm gonna go with Ito. Yeah, because they pronounce it Itoi, so I'm gonna pronounce it Ito. Ito turned his camera up toward a group of people pretending to be pro wrestlers. Ito and I were in the newspaper club, and it was our job to record the festivities. The principal had ordered that all clubs were to participate in the culture festival, and recording the festivities was our way of getting out without having to do much work. Recording video and taking photos was my hobby, and more than anything, it seemed like the way that would demand I burn the fewest calories. I couldn't see myself participating in any of the usual festival nonsense. Like the baseball team's fried baseball ice cream stand, which was probably just a regular fried ice cream in a ball. Or the pro wrestling research club's mascot pro wrestling, or even the seance that the mystery club and fortune telling club were putting on together. They probably just don't have anything better to do. Hey, don't pull my whiskers! You'll rip them off!
Aren't these antennae?
What do you think? If they're antenna, wouldn't you look cuter if you rip them off?
Huh? What? Do I really have to answer such a stupid question?
Goddamn normals. Go die in a fire. Jesus, so more rum is required. Or less rum, depending on if you think it'll help my reading capabilities. Spoilers, it won't. Hey, don't make fun of normals. I'm a normal. Huh? Hey, you idiot! The camera! He dropped it. That thing's expensive. Hey, what do you mean? You're hurting me. Wait, the camera! Did you betray me? Did you lose a level? When did you get a girlfriend? Huh? I don't have a girlfriend. Forget that. Pick up the camera. What? I slipped out of Ito's grasp and picked up the camera. I like Ito. Ito is a man I can get behind. Why is he not my protagonist? And I'm slandered with this wannabe normie bored out of his mind. I don't even know how to finish that sentence. Looks like it's safe. Good. Also, definitely read that line on the top of the thing as hentai. Because it's only one letter away from saying so. It's hentax, though. I relaxed and handed the camera back to Ito. Sheesh. Get a hold of yourself. We're not like them. We're right-siders, right? Want me to give you a lecture about it? Listen, the term normal first came into use in the Japanese internet around 2005. It refers to someone who lives daily life while it was fulfilling and satisfying. Originally, the term netizen exists as an antonym, but the distinction barely exists anymore. That's because the net is now an integral part of everyday life. When it first came into use, simply having friends was enough to qualify one as a normal. But gradually this requirement shifted into having a lover. But this too is changing. The modern definition of normal is now someone whose life is truly satisfying. That is, someone who's doing what they really want to do. In that sense, I am a normal. Therefore, the people over there who are screwing around and wasting time aren't normals at all. You need to use your words correctly. Seriously, he needs to be careful. Just being a wrong-sider by itself is a sin these days. After I finished my lecture, I saw that Ito was staring at me wordlessly. What, did he not understand it? I walked him through the entire etymology. Miyashiro? What? You're not a normal. Let's use words correctly, okay? Huh? But why? Normals don't talk like that. Wait, why? And you know, I've got acquaintances who are women. Of course, men too. I just told you, normals don't talk like that. But what's the reason? And also, may I also add... I quickly swallowed my words. I'm studying fashion too. I'm sorry, what? I read that new issue of Cool Cat before I put it away. There was an article called Utsunomiya's Fashion Leader. I looked at it. I thought it looked pretty good. If I could wear that stuff, I'm sure. What? Nothing. I'm telling you, I'm... Sure, whatever, man. Let's go. As he walked away, I turned my eyes toward a group of mascot pro wrestlers. Alright then, we'll all wear the same outfit.
Oh,
Like Sentai Rangers. We can split the colors up. I'll be yellow.
The audience would love it. But do we have the budget?
We've got your allowance, right?
Shove it.
Or we could paint the colors onto our bodies. Just has to be get laughs, right?
I'm busy. Oh Christ, we've got a second Faris. Whoever says that holding your nose while drinking means you can't taste it is full of shit.
Welcome back, Master Charon!
It's not very cute, is it? Can we fix that?
Don't say that it's not cute. And wait, it's not bad that only the girls are waitresses. The boys should be waitresses too.
Did Garo Froggy really talk like that? Ito had just finished recording the goings on in the classroom. You're really making me do this shit again. It doesn't matter. Alright, well, we've seen a good one. Let's see what a negative one looks like. Because at this point, I'm just going through the motions. And although I kind of don't want to be a dick to Ito, I also don't want to get in his pants. So, it'd just be like that. This was class 3-1. Ito was in my class. Most of the class was busy with the Garo Froggy Cafe we were doing for the festival. Some people were ignoring the fuss and studying. Some of the otaku were reading light novels. Did they really think that if they left the paper cover from the bookstore on it, we wouldn't tell it was a light novel? They were just trying their best to stay out of the way. Most people were happily making Garo Froggy decorations or putting Garo Froggy costumes on and messing around. All the clubs had to participate in the festival, but so did the classes. No one had told me, but evidently several months ago we decided to do a Garo Froggy themed cafe. You dummy! Garo Froggy has a girl's voice.
Well, sure, but it's just a culture festival. We're allowed to change it.
That's wrong. Huh? Ito tilted his head in confusion. Excuse me? What the That's right, Garo Garo! We don't talk that way, Garo. Don't mess with us, Garo. Suddenly, all the Garo froggies in the classroom stood up on their own. There were easily more than 30 of them. It took me a second to process what I was seeing, but who could blame me? Who wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of Garo Froggy dolls started walking around of their own free will? The next thing we knew, we were surrounded. We were like frogs in the clutches of a hungry snake. Or maybe humans in the clutches of an angry frogs.
What's going on? The stuffed animals are talking!
Oh, wow, that's creepy. Hilarious.
俺たちをバカにする奴らは
We won't let anyone make fun of us, Garo.
目に物見せてやるゲロ
Let's teach them a lesson, Garo.
血で血を洗う
Let the blood nightmare begin, Garo.
Their eyes weren't smiling. Mine fucking are. This is what I came here for. This felt really bad.
ああクソカエルのぬい
What?
ぐるみの分
You
際で
stupid
なんだ
little
って
frogs think you could pick a fight with us? One of my classmates carelessly approached the green Garo froggy.
おいよせ
No, don't!
シャー
It was too late. The green Garo froggy launched itself like a missile at his mouth and then forced its way down his throat. It then ripped its way out of his stomach from the inside. Holy shit, we're doing alien rip-offs now. No. My stomach. My stomach. Something long, pink, and glistening slid out from the gaping hole in the side of his stomach. Oh, that's an intestine. That's when the screaming began. No one escaped the classroom alive. The Garo froggy showed no mercy. He indiscriminately slaughtered both boys and girls. And I was the least lucky of them all. I was the last survivor. If only they killed me sooner, I wouldn't have had to piss myself in despair, trapped in a classroom where the walls were covered in blood and guts and brain. I wouldn't have had to see my classmates die.
お前は実験台にしてやるゲロ
We're going to experiment on you, Garo.
人間パペットだゲロ
You're going to be a human puppet, Garo.
俺たちがお前の
We're going to enter you. And we're going to control you, Garo.
やめてくれ
Please!
すぐ楽になる
Don't
から
worry.
安心しろだゲ
The
ロ
pain will end soon, Garo.
シャー
The green frog leapt toward my mouth. A huge, wet lump forced its way down my windpipe and inside of me. I should have chewed off my tongue and died that way with a frog in my throat. But it was too late for regrets now. That's like something out of a cheesy horror movie. Wrongsiders these days preferred big-budget action movies. Something like this would never sell to them. I erased the stupid simulation from my mind and decided to get back on topic. It's like stupidly hentai cringe on one hand, stupidly violent gore cringe on the other. I'm so glad I'm committing to this. If only because one half of that cringe appeals to me. I took out my Pokecom and showed it to Ito.
で、これが今月の19日の事件の画像。
So here's the images from the 19th of this month.
音漏れたんかどれ
Leaky noise, huh?
これはまだ見てないなどこで拾った
I haven't seen this one before. Where'd you get it?
事件のまとめウィキに一瞬な。
It showed up for an instant on an aggregator wiki. I scraped it before it got deleted.
ああこっちの方がアングルい
This
いな
one's got a nicer angle, right?
さっきのカラオケのやつと合わせて
Let me up this to
ニヤトにアップさせてくれよ
Nika Nia along with the stuff you took from the karaoke box.
もう新聞部のオンラインストレージに上げて
I've
る。
already upped it to the newspaper club's online storage. Make some adjustments so it's easier to see, then do with it what you want.
なんか最近再生数が
It
い
has
ま
been
いち伸び
kinda
ないんだ
bad
よな
lately.
この
The
前
last
俺一
video
人
I
で
up
作っ
just
た動画のタグに
got
も
tagged with
カメラ仕事しろ
cameraman, do your damn job, and this angle sucks. Ito looked really upset. Well, I knew how he felt. The Heihiko Academy Newspaper Club have been the first in the nation to upload a video version of the school newspaper to Nika Nia. Our papers dealt with anything involving Shibuya. We'd done a special into the Shibuya restoration once that a local paper had written about. We won a special prize at the city journalism contest, and the video got over 80,000 views despite being boring as hell. After that though, I could understand being upset at the fact that new videos dealing with ongoings in Shibuya weren't breaking 2 digits.
Ah, camera 仕事しろのタグをつけたのは僕だ。
I was the one who put cameraman do your damn job tag on. The angle was crap, man.
ゲットしてきた
Ta-da! Got it!
おおオリジナルじゃん
And it's an original.
疲れた。
I'm so tired. A boyfriend and girlfriend walks in, evidently back from shopping. Their arms were full of Garo Froggy stuffed animals.
だから違うって。
I told you that's wrong.
は？
Huh?
だから
Well,
何
what's
がだよ。
Ito hadn't noticed then. I looked at my classmates who were already beginning to play with their new toys and said,
前も話したことあったろ。
I've told you this
大
before,
半の中
right?
高生は
You can tell your average teenager's information level by knowing what sites they go to. This was a personal theory of mine. Smartphones and pokecoms. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know if it's meant to be anything. Or it might be pokecoms, but I could be wrong. I'm pronouncing it as pokecoms and believing that this part of Shibuya has a really big Pokemon influence. Smartphones and pokecoms have been a religion to the modern teenager, and the information they gained from these portable terminals had a huge influence on their lives. Some people only looked at SNSs like Twitter, Rhine, and Facebook. Others at Atchan and Nikoniya. Some looked at all those, as well as the links they found there. And then some looked at all of those things, as well as their favourite celebrity blogs, the big Atchan aggregators, and then whatever humour site was popular at the moment. All of those people were wrong-siders. And the scary thing was that these days, 9 out of 10 wrong-siders were teenagers. Garo Froggy launched 6 years ago, with a cell phone strap that had gone popular for reasons no one ever understood. And then lately, a combination of Garo Froggy memes on Twitter. I know it says Twitter, but I'm gonna read it as fucking Twitter and you can't stop me. As well as an amateur anime posted to Nikoniya, and if I remember right, it was a talking, dancing frog singing anime themes. I created a fad, though I hated to use the word for something so stupid. It's alright! Oh no, wait, no, you said meme. I was about to say, these days we call them memes, but then, actually, no, these days we call them TikToks. I think that's what the kids do. It amazes me that people honestly believe that the ribbit sounds made from the original female actress in those videos were from the original. Or that the original was the stuffed animal that had come out recently and not the phone strap. My guess was that they only got their information from Twitter.
それに男の場合はウェイト
And
レ
a
ス
man
じゃな
can't
く
be
て
a
ウェイタ
waitress.
ーだって。
He's a waiter. This was one of the reasons I joined the newspaper club. I didn't want to end up like them. Anyway.
宮代くん
Miyashiro?
A girl, evidently the one in charge of the waitresses, was talking to me. Ugh. Who was she again? Fujita? Fujimoto? I think that was a Fuji.
何？田中さん。
What is it, Tanaka? Tanaka. I was totally wrong.
さ教室で流す映像のビデオ撮影のことなん
About
だ
the
けど
videos
さ
we're going to be playing in the classroom.
What was she talking about? Oh, right, they were going to make their own version of the Nikoniya videos, while they wore the costumes and danced.
そのアップとかできるのかなこ
Um,
うずっと同じで撮
Do you
るん
think
じ
we
ゃな
could
く
do
て
some close-ups or something? Instead of just shooting from the same spot the whole time?
What? Was she telling me what to do? I didn't volunteer to videotape it, and you guys forced me. Well, it was better being told to dance or make props myself.
Ah.
Oh, well...
その
You see... Oh, God. fucking socially awkward. Hmm?
フィックスじゃなくて
You don't want
いろいろ
to
動
fix.
かせってい
You want us
う
to
ことですか
move around?
フィックス
Fix?
よくわかんない
I
け
don't know
ど
what you mean.
あで
Oh,
できますよ
we can do it.
なんでも
We can do close-ups or whatever.
本当よか
Really?
った
Great!
じゃあ
I'll write up how you
本
want
当
it
ま
to
で
do
ど
it
う
and
撮って
then
ほしいかま
give
と
it
め
to
て
you
渡
before
す
the
から
shoot.
And then she fled. Socially awkward. Write that on the list. Put it on your bingo cards. We're constructing everything else to prove that Takaru is indeed not normal. That surprised me. Don't scare me like that. I was so nervous I was sweating a little. Ito was looking at me and sighing. What?
お前やっぱリア充じゃないわ
No way are you a normal man. What?
相変わらず慣れない相手だと
Freak out whenever you're talking to someone new.
しょうがないだろ
I can't help it. She came out of nowhere. What's more, I made it a policy not to talk to anyone unless it was necessary. This was the first time in quite a while I'd spoken to any of my classmates but Ito.
どうだった
How'd it go?
なんか自慢されてなかった
He was
フィッ
bragging
ク
about
スとか
something,
なん
right?
とか
Fix or something?
んだそれ
What?
またうんちくか
More techno babble. They'd already started to spread meaningless information. Stop it. Hearing whispers about me in the classroom brought back bad memories. I was starting to have a hard time breathing.
おい大丈夫か
Hey, you okay? I must have looked like I was in pain because Ito was looking at me with concern on his face. I quickly nodded to show that I was fine.
陰口は聞こえないように言えってのな
If you want to talk behind someone's back, do it when they can't hear you. And it's not bragging, and it's not techno babble.
別に気にしてないよ
It doesn't bother me.
藤田さんは
Fujita is...
誰だよ
Who's Fujita?
田
Oh,
中さんは情弱なだけなんだから
Takana's just a wrong-sider. That's right. Wasn't worth worrying about. She was just ignorant. Ito was looking over at our classmates who were having fun.
ったくオポ
Jeez.
チュニストが
Freaking opportunists. Opportunists? Uh-oh. What did that mean again? I knew I'd heard it before. I ran a search on my Pokécom just to making sure not to let Ito see. Opportunist. One who takes advantage of any opportunity to achieve an end.
そうだな
That's
言い
right.
当てたと思う
I think that's
みんなと同じ
exactly the
方向に
right
ひよってる
word.
だけだよ
They'll take any opportunity to bring you down.
まったくな
You got that right. Ito nodded, annoyed. Good. Looks like he didn't find out.
いつの時代も
The otaku at the bottom of the school caste system always have to give people above us something to talk about.
提供する運命なのか
Hmm? Hold it. The school caste system wasn't something I cared about, but
おい僕はオ
Hey,
タクじゃないぞ
I'm not an otaku.
またかよ
Not this again.
またってなんだ
What do you mean
理屈に合わない
again?
ことが気持ち悪い
I
だ
just
け
don't
だ
like it when people are wrong. Do you want...
いい豚なん
No.
かいい
I do not want a lecture.
オタクの定義は流動して
The
いて
definition of the word
当初あった
otaku is
悪いイメージは
changing.
徐々に払拭され
And the
つつある
negative
けど
connotations it originally had are disappearing, but
2015年現在でも
even now in
アニメやら
2015 it
ラノベ
still
やら
mostly
ゲームやら
serves
アイドルやら
to
にハマってい
denote
く
those
ことを
obsessed with
指す
anime,
場合
light
がなんだ
novels, video games, and idols. I thought I saw a boy reading a light novel turn toward me, but I didn't care.
僕はくだらないアニメやラノベは見ない
I don't watch stupid anime or read stupid light novels. It's a waste of time.
以前お前なんかの
You're going on about how great some anime was. What was it? Bloodtoon? I said I don't watch anime. That's stupid. It's no different than people who ignore quality movies like The Two Veronicas or It's My Wonderful Life and just watch the same stuff over and over. I need to know what these are parodies of. One moment. A joint production between France and Poland, directed by Krzysztof Kieslowski, chronicles the lives of two names, both named Veronica, who are born in two different countries. The scene on the bus is a must-see, a masterpiece. I don't recognize The Two Veronicas, but I feel like It's My Wonderful Life I know them on, because that's It's a Wonderful Life, which is that one Christmas tale. An American movie released in 1946, directed by Blank Capra, depicts the life of a man and the strange miracle he encountered on Christmas Eve. In America, it's the quintessential Christmas movie. The sense of excitement when he runs through the city is unforgettable. A timeless classic. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Is that the one where he tries to drown himself in the river and is saved by a ghost? Or is that like Miracle on 34th Street or whatever it was? I know I've seen one of those movies and not the other, and I can't remember which one it was. Also, I really just want to read what the abbreviation of a name given to a series of pocket computers with the 7-inch full HD displays. The name Pocketcom is unique to Japan and has nothing to do with the so-called pocket computers that were sold in the 1980s. These computers began to become popular within the world in 2012, expected to someday replace smartphones. They come loaded with a number of different apps such as internet browser, an email program, TV watching program, video games, microblogging apps, and a camera. Wait, so this is an iPhone, is what you're telling me? It said that they'll also be making the ability to make phone calls soon as well. Okay, no, it's an iPod Touch. Are they still a thing in 2015? Because remember, there was a brief time where Apple also made iPhones that weren't phones, and they just did everything besides the phone part. Man, maybe I'm just old. And say, anyone who hasn't seen this show is a casual. I get it. Or people who lie about having read books like The Cities in Sequence or Winter's Garden and just read light novels all day. The word otaku refers to people like that, who only bother to absorb information about subjects they enjoy. Camera otaku always seem to be like a bunch of weirdos to me.
As long
as they're not bothering anyone, who cares? I'm a Johnny Otaku myself.
Stop it, please. More than anything, I don't want to be the same as you people. Someone's out of breath. And those of the classroom flew open. A female student was looking in. She must have been in a hurry because she was a little out of breath. She brushed her long hair out of her eyes and was about to come inside.
No, what's up?
Oh, Empress! Perfect timing. The whole class started to talk to her. Look, I'm biased, okay? I like violence. Rather than being horny. Maybe I should change my mind to being horny.
Hold on.
She was about to say something when her foot caught one of the cables running across the room. And she suddenly tripped. Watch out! I moved quickly. She staggered forward, but as reached out my hand to keep her from falling. For some reason, I felt a powerful impact on the top of my skull as I slammed into the ground. My vision went black. I was about to pass out. What the heck just happened?
説明しよう。つまずいた女帝はバランスを立て直そうとしてなぜかその場でジャンプし、勢い余って空中で綺麗に体をひねった。
Thank you, Speedwagon! Allow me to explain. When the Empress lost her balance, for some reason she decided to regain it by jumping. The momentum caused her body to twist in the air.
その結果、
As a result, she landed a perfect flying roundhouse kick to Miyashiro's head. Miyashiro loses the bout by TKO. Given that was just one possibility, I probably shouldn't do anything. She almost tripped, but managed to keep her balance. I already know the other side of that is like going to catch her, and it's like, oh, I catch her, and our eyes lock, and then we fuck, or something stupid like that. Who says I can't write this novel? She smiled a bit and took a deep breath. All the students around her, boys and girls alike, began to move. They surrounded her as if welcoming a long-lost family member.
Hey, who put this cable here? That's dangerous! No, I'm so sorry!
Empress, you okay? I assume Empress is a nickname.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Wait a fucking minute. Shion? Is that you in there? Did you come back from fucking Hinamizuwa to torment me some more? She answered them with a smile. I felt like our eyes met. I looked away without thinking. No, oh, fucking Kurisu. Jesus Christ, she's still here. I know it's not Kurisu, but it's Kurisu. But I'm still gonna wince every time I read it. Like Okabe having flashbacks to murdering her in the fucking building. Spoilers for Steins Gate, by the way. The first student council president of Hehiko Academy. Hey, so for our cafe we've got the kitchen, and then there's the other part. What do you call it? Where the customers sit. Kurisu smiled as she spoke.
You mean the hall?
Yeah, the hall. Did Mr. Wacky adjust the number of curtains we've got to partition the two?
Adjust? Did Mr. Wakui say he was going to do that, Masuda?
Huh? You hadn't heard?
Nope. Which means he definitely didn't do it. Fine, I'll talk to him.
You sure? The teachers seem to have their eye on you, Empress. Actually, they seem scared of you.
The student council president's job is to make the teachers' lives difficult for the benefit of the students. Don't worry, I'll use what little power I've got. Oh, and Matsuda, stop calling me Empress.
Thanks, Empress.
Now listen, you.
I don't think it is the same VA, but it briefly sounded like her. Most of the boys in the class called Kurisu Empress as a joke. She got the name after becoming a hero of the fellow students through gallant deeds like putting an end to the principal's endless homeroom speeches. Not to mention bringing more types of bread to the school store.
Thanks for the costume, No. It was a perfect fit.
Tanaka.
I couldn't get the zipper all the way up. Oh, should I have kept my mouth shut? I can stop you guys from doing any advertising, you know. I'm sorry, it was a joke. You're just fine, I mean it. Wait, it probably got stuck because of your breasts anyway, didn't it? It was a joke. I'm counting on you. Get lots of laughs.
She sure was popular. She even knew the names of the students in the other classes. Top of the school caste system. This was the first phase that came to mind. And then...
Takeru, 話がある
Takeru,
の。
we
ちょ
need
っ
to
と来
talk.
てくれる
Can you come with me?
Kurisu walked all the way over to me in tow. Her expression was so kind, it seemed like she had to be putting on some kind of act. I could see that all the people who had been surrounding her were staring at me.
女帝カメラっ子に何の
What
用
does
だ
the Empress want with the camera
友達
kids?
なのか
Are they friends?
知らないの
What?
ノノ
You
は
don't know? Nono is...
はあマジで
Huh? Seriously? I ignored my classmates' whispers and focused on Kurisu. Her smile seemed fake, as if it had been plastered onto her face. Whenever she smiled like that, it meant she wasn't in a good mood.
今はごめん。事件に関して
Sorry, I
気づ
can't
いた
right now.
それをまとめ
I
てる
just
最
figured
中
something out about the case and I'm putting it together.
うん
生徒会文化祭の準備が佳境
The
だ。
student council's really busy with the culture festival right now, right? So once it's calmed down, Kurisu... Her cheeks twitched a little. Crap. Kurisu didn't like being called by her last name.
ちょっと来てくれる
Can you come with me to the club room really quick?
I could sense a dark aura forming around her, hardly befitting a so-called empress. Hey, look. All good leaders have to kill some people to get to where they are, so... I can only assume the horrors that she's done.
来てくれる
Can you?
She was so close to me.
行こうか
Well, let's go to the club
ああ
room.
宮代
That cool with you, Miyashiro? Ito couldn't handle the terror. It didn't look like I could talk my way out of this one. Seeing no other choice, I nodded and stood up.
クルス
Kurisu? Ugh.
クルスちょっと
Kurisu, you got a second?
グラウンドに出す屋台のコンロの数でしょ
Is this about the
やっ
portable
ぱり一
stalls
つ
for all
の
the
屋
food
台に
stalls
つ
in
き
the
一つ
field?
で統一する
We decided that every stall gets one.
Huh?
いやそれ
But
は
that's...
おう
Okay.
悪いけど例外はなし
Sorry, no
校
exceptions.
長に掛け合ったけど
I
ダ
spoke to
メ
the
だったか
principal, but
ら
I couldn't get him to change
人
his
数が多くて
mind.
不満があるところは
If any of the
私が
bigger
後で
groups are
直接
still
説明
upset,
に
I'll
行
go
く
talk to them myself.
了解。い
Roger.
やじゃなくて。
I mean,
なんで
wait.
持ち場離れて
Why aren't you where you're supposed to be?
クルスだから
Kurisu?
忙しかったら落ち着いたらで
I
いいって。
told you that if you're busy, we can do this later.
もう終わったから
I'm done.
ごめんね
Sorry,
川原
Kawahara.
急ぎだ
I'm
ね
in a hurry right now.
Her tone was gentle, but brooked no argument, as she hurried to the club room. Hmm.
宮代またお前か。
Miyash-
今度は何したんだ
Miyashiro, you again? What did you do this time? Kawahara cut her off. I didn't know his first name. He was the same class as Ito and I, and he was the vice president of the student council.
いやいい。言わなくても分かってる。
No, you don't need to tell
また
me.
例のくだらない
You were
記者ごっこだ
pretending to be a reporter again,
そ
right?
れとも探偵気
Or
取り
was it a detective? Alright, I don't like you. I knew why he was giving me a hard time. He didn't like the fact that Kurisu was spending time with me.
別に
It's not... uh,
何
What?
川原
It's
君
not-
に迷惑は
Any of your business,
と思いますけど
I think.
かかってるんだよ
It is my
クラスの時
business.
間が割かれると
When you take up Kurisu's time, you cause trouble for me and the rest of the student council.
うるさいな
Shut up.
なんだって
What?
今うるさいって
Did
言
you
ったの
just tell me to shut up? He must have heard that because he came storming up to me. He tried to grab me by the collar, but I knocked his hand away. Instead, I grabbed his head and put it under my arm. Huh? Hey, let me go! I grabbed his belt and lifted him up off the ground. Oh, a brain buster! Drop him straight down, Miyashiro!
Stop! That's dangerous!
I raised Kawahara up above my head and then stood there, unmoving for a moment. Just as when I was deciding whether to drop him or put him down. Hey, put me down! He flailed his legs out toward the ceiling and tried to escape. The man didn't know when to give up. I could do a lot worse than just drop you, you know. I shifted Kawahara around in my arms and quickly moved into a position for a pile driver. Then I dropped to the ground, butt first, and slammed his head into the floor. Man, Ito really is like my Speedwagon, isn't he? Whoa, a Steiner screwdriver! Give him the old reading Steiner. I heard an awful crunching sound. His skull must have fractured. Just before I dropped him, I let go a little, so it didn't hit him as hard as it could have. If I hadn't, he would be dead right now.
Takeru, that's going too far.
Kurasu's face was expressionless.
I'm calling the police.
Don't blame me. Blame Kawahara for pissing me off.
You ruined your whole life over something like this. I didn't realize you were so stupid.
I watched in a daze as Kurasu called the police. Kawahara had passed out, with little bubbles of foam forming around his mouth. Teachers had heard the noise and started to gather around me. Guess I'm gonna have to drop out of school. Yeah, that's what would happen. Yeah, like, fuck, that's what would happen. This is, like, the epitome of, like, standing in the shower after an argument 4 hours later and realizing what you could have said. That's what that whole situation was. I could beat the stuffing out of Kawahara right now if I wanted, but that would just get me in trouble. I didn't want to ruin my life over something like that. So I decided just to not say anything to him. So I heard you skipped most of elementary and middle school. Is that true? I could feel my legs tense up. I stopped. My face got hot. Without thinking, I glared accusingly at Kurasu. She quickly shook her head.
Kawahara, I'm really in a hurry right now.
But he kept staring at me. I felt like he was grinning a little. It pissed me off. But there was nothing I could say. I did the best I could to ignore him and turned away. Don't tut at me, boy, or I fucking will shatter your skull open. I ignored what sounded like a little laugh and hurried into the club room.